Do you ever feel like you're on the outside looking in? You might be in a crowded room surrounded by people laughing and talking, but you feel a sense of profound separateness, as if you're behind an invisible wall. Or maybe it's a deep, quiet belief that, when it really comes down to it, you are on your own, that you can't truly rely on anyone, so you've learned to be fiercely independent, to never ask for help, to handle everything yourself. It's a feeling of being untethered, a quiet loneliness that hums beneath the surface of your life, no matter how successful or connected you appear to be. If this resonates with you, you have met a part of yourself that psychologists and mythologists call the inner orphan. This isn't about whether you were literally an orphan. This is about an archetypal pattern, a deep structure in the human psyche that is formed when we experience a loss of safety, connection, and belonging. It is the part of us that feels abandoned, left behind, and unsupported in a world that feels cold and indifferent. For many, this inner orphan becomes the lens through which they see their entire life. It keeps them stuck in a loop of powerlessness, loneliness, and disappointment. It casts them as the victim in their own life story. But what if I told you that this archetype, this wounded part of you, is not a life sentence? What if it holds the key to your greatest strength? What if the path to healing this inner orphan is the most important journey you will ever take? This is the archetypal path from victim to hero, and today, we are going to walk it together. To understand the journey, we must first understand the landscape of the wound. The orphan archetype is born from the experience of abandonment. This doesn't necessarily mean a dramatic, cinematic event of being left on a doorstep. The wound of abandonment can be quiet, subtle, and created even in a home with two parents. It is the wound of the parent who was physically present, but emotionally absent, lost in their own work, addiction, or depression. It is the wound of the parent whose love felt conditional, who only gave praise for achievement and withdrew affection for failure. It is the wound of being bullied at school and feeling like no one was there to protect you. It is any experience, big or small, that delivers a devastating message to a child's heart. You are alone in this. Your needs don't matter. You cannot count on anyone to be there for you. When this belief takes root, it shapes our entire personality. The orphan archetype has a distinct set of characteristics. There is, of course, that profound, pervasive sense of loneliness. There is a deep-seated difficulty in trusting other people and in trusting life itself. The world feels like an unsafe and unpredictable place. To survive, the orphan develops a coping mechanism of brittle, fierce independence. I'll do it myself. I don't need anyone. This isn't a statement of true strength. It's a defense mechanism born of fear. It's a wall built to protect a terrified inner child from the pain of being let down again. And behind that wall is a paradox, a desperate fear of abandonment that can lead to either pushing people away to avoid being hurt or clinging to relationships in a way that almost guarantees the other person will eventually pull away, thus confirming the orphan's core belief. When this archetype is left unhealed, when it is the one driving our decisions and perceptions, it defaults to a very specific survival strategy: the victim. The victim is the orphan in its shadow form. It is a mindset, a way of being in the world that feels safe because it requires no responsibility. The core belief of the victim is, I am powerless. Life is not something you create, it is something that happens to you. You are a passive object being tossed around by the cruel waves of fate, circumstance, and other people's actions. From this belief in powerlessness, everything else flows. The victim mentality is characterized by blame. Since you have no power, nothing is ever your fault. It's your parents' fault for how they raised you. It's your boss's fault for not recognizing your talent. It's the system's fault for being unfair. It's bad luck. Blame is a powerful shield. It protects the victim from the terrifying prospect of having to take action and risk failure. Because the victim feels helpless, they are always, consciously or unconsciously, looking for a rescuer. This is the fantasy that one day the perfect partner, the ideal mentor, or a stroke of lottery, winning luck will arrive and save them from their life. They are waiting for an external force to come and finally give them the safety and validation they have always craved. And strangely, there is a payoff to this suffering. The victim gets attention. They get sympathy. Their stories of woe, of how they've been wronged, become their currency in relationships. It becomes their identity. Their pain becomes a way to connect with others. But it is a connection based on weakness, not on strength. The victim unconsciously recreates the dynamics of their original abandonment in their life, over and over, continually proving to themselves the tragic truth that they will always be powerless and alone. Living in the shadow of the orphan is a life half-lived. It is a gray, waiting existence. But at some point, for many, a turning point comes. It's a moment of reckoning. It's the moment when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of change. The victim strategy stops working. The sympathy feels hollow. The loneliness becomes unbearable. You realize that the rescuer is not coming. This is the call to adventure. This is the moment the hero inside you begins to stir. It is the moment you realize that the only person who can heal the orphan is you. The journey begins with a single, terrifying, liberating decision. The decision to take responsibility for your own healing and your own life. The central task of this heroic journey is a process called reparenting. You must become the wise, loving, and stable parent to your own inner child that you never had. You must learn to give yourself the safety, approval, and unconditional love you have been seeking from the outside world your entire life. This is not a journey to find a missing piece. It is a journey to realize you were whole all along. This journey is not easy. It has distinct stages, trials you must pass through to emerge as the hero of your own story. The first step is acknowledgement and compassion. In the hero's journey, this is known as entering the cave. For your entire life, you have been running from the orphan's pain. You have distracted yourself, numbed yourself, and denied it. Now, you must turn and face it. You have to stop, get quiet, and allow those feelings of loneliness, sadness, and worthlessness to surface. And you must meet them not with judgment, but with radical compassion. This is the moment where you, as your adult self, speak to that wounded child inside and say, "I see you. I hear you. Your pain is real. What happened to you was not your fault. And I am here with you now. I am not going to leave you." Once you have acknowledged the wound, you must move to the second stage, grieving the past. The dragon the hero must slay is their unexpressed grief. You cannot bypass this. You must allow yourself to fully grieve for what you lost, and for what you never had. Grieve for the childhood where you didn't feel safe. Grieve for the lack of unconditional love and support. This means allowing yourself to feel the deep sadness. It means allowing yourself to feel the legitimate anger at the injustice of it all. This is not about blaming your parents forever. It is about honoring the emotional truth of your experience, so that you can finally release its power over you. Grief is the cleansing fire that cauterizes the wound. After moving through the grief, you arrive at the third, and most pivotal, stage, taking radical responsibility. This is the moment you seize the sword. It is the definitive shift from victim to hero. It is the conscious choice to stop blaming the past and to stop waiting for a rescuer in the future. It is the moment you bring your focus entirely into the present and ask the most powerful question there is. Given my circumstances, what can I do now? This doesn't mean you have control over everything. It means you take 100% responsibility for your own actions, your own emotions, and your own choices within the circumstances. You find yourself. You stop giving your power away to others and you claim it, firmly, as your own. You become the active protagonist of your life, not a passive bystander. With your power reclaimed, you begin the fourth stage, building inner safety and trust. This is where you forge your armor. The orphan feels perpetually unsafe and cannot trust anyone. The hero learns to build a fortress of safety from within. This is done through practical, consistent actions. You learn to set healthy boundaries, saying no to people and situations that drain you or violate your sense of self. Boundaries are the statement, "I am worthy of protection." You start keeping promises to yourself. If you say you're going to exercise, you do it. If you promise yourself you'll work on your project, you do it. Each promise kept is a brick in the foundation of self-trust. You are teaching your inner orphan that you are reliable, that you will show up for yourself. You consciously cultivate a kind, encouraging inner voice, the voice of your own inner parent. When the inner critic attacks, this new voice steps in and says, "That is not true. You are doing your best. You are strong and capable." You learn to self-soothe, to be your own comfort when you are sad or anxious, rather than immediately reaching for external validation. The final stage of this journey is cultivating interdependence. This is where you find your true allies. The orphan's fierce independence was a trauma response, a wall to keep people out. The victim's neediness was codependence, a way of clinging to others for survival. The healed hero understands a third way, interdependence. Interdependence is the recognition that we do need each other, but from a place of wholeness, not emptiness. It means learning to ask for help without feeling helpless. It means learning to receive support without feeling like a burden. It is about forming healthy, reciprocal relationships built on mutual respect and admiration. This is where you build your found family, a community of allies who see you, support you, and champion you, and for whom you do the same. You learn that true strength is not never needing anyone. It is being strong enough to be vulnerable with the right people. The journey from orphan to hero is the great work of a lifetime. The orphan within you never truly vanishes. The scars of your past remain, but they are transformed. They no longer define you. They are no longer sources of shame. Instead, they become your sources of power. The healed orphan, the hero, possesses a unique set of gifts. Having known profound loneliness, you develop a profound capacity for empathy. Having felt like an outsider, you have an incredible ability to make others feel included. You become the one who can create a space of belonging for others. Your past pain becomes the wellspring of your greatest purpose. You become the mentor you never had, the protector you always needed. Healing the inner orphan is the ultimate act of self-reclamation. It is the journey of coming home to yourself. It is the process of realizing that you were never truly abandoned, because the one person who could save you has been there all along. You are the one you have been waiting for. You are, and always have been, the hero of your own story.